Gotcha. Well, Melissa, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good.
Good. Did you just get done with work?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, welcome. This is really probably, yes, your first time here at our goal setting webinar.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Um, what I can do here, Lindsay was able to participate last month, and I was just sharing with her that I know some folks are going to be probably patching in here a little bit later. Some people are getting done with work right at 6 o'clock, so they weren't able to start with us right away at 6 o'clock. And I think one person was going to try to phone in. He didn't have access to the computer tonight. So what I'd like to kind of do with you right now is just kind of share the normal introductory or the normal introduction that I do like to go over so that you kind of have an understanding as to what we're looking to accomplish tonight. And again,
Okay.
I am just recording this. We just simply put this recording then on our Farmland Fitness YouTube channel. Should that, and I think I had like 4 or 5 people last month go back and just listen to it. They weren't able to participate with us online, but that's why I'm recording, just so our membership can go back and yeah, just simply listen to it if they're not able again to participate. Yeah. So personal goal setting, kind of the why behind that. We know that especially like top level athletes, for example, very successful business people, people that do big achievements really in all fields, right? They set goals. They set goals that helps them with their long-term vision, but also then their short-term motivation. And it helps people focus their acquisition of knowledge. It helps them organize their time, and then really also too their resources, so that they're really getting the very most out of whatever endeavor that they're in. What we like to then do is also kind of explain some of the different terminology with goals. In other words, I would like to get into maybe some outcome goals with you tonight, help you also understand like maybe what avoid goals are, but then maybe even thirdly, collaborate with you on what really truly is a meaningful outcome-based goal should you not have one tonight. So I guess what I want to do here first and really just take some time to listen to you as to, do you maybe have a goal in mind or goals in mind, or is it something related to performance, or is it more of a personal type thing, or is it something on the professional end of things?
For me, I'd probably have to say more of upper body strength. Coming in, having ridden horses before, I had lower body, but I could definitely tell during workouts with upper body stuff, I'm definitely struggling there.
Okay, so your goal sounds like you're dealing, or basically in that category of, yes, performance related here.
Yep.
Okay, upper body strength. Okay. And you said that you're primarily noticing this in work, you're saying, or is it in riding horses?
Mainly the workouts. With dealing with the horses, other than doing like hay and stuff, I don't have to have a whole lot of upper body. So I know like wall push-ups, things like that, I definitely struggle with. I know I've gotten better at like pull-ups and stuff, but definitely struggling with like holding my whole body upside down. I feel like I felt really fast.
Okay, so you're noticing this within training?
Yeah.
Anything real life associated with this?
Not that I've actually seen, but I guess I don't do a whole lot of upper body stuff.
You're not wrestling bears on a regular day?
Yeah, no.
No. Okay, so again, this is really then just focused around a performance indicator here. You're noticing it within your weekly training that, yeah, my upper body strength, that's something that I'd like to have focused on here.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Give me a few minutes. Somebody just patched in on the phone. Who is listening to us?
That's me, Justin.
Hey, Justin, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Doing just fine. Just fine. So what I had just done here is I had just spoken with Melissa. This is her first time joining us. And I got to remember here, Justin, have you patched in with us here before?
Yeah, me and you did it together probably before I started the CrossFit, so it was probably back in August.
Okay, I don't have all my notes in front of me, but that's what I had thought, and I just wanted to make sure. So what I want to then do to you as well is just take a few minutes and kind of listen and understand to kind of, explore maybe your goals. What's going on right now?
Yeah, I think our first time we did it was more focusing on like the technical side, like the PDC bar movements and stuff with the barbell. And now I think like the goal is still, I think, how we work with squats, back squats, is still just, you know, trying to get in the habit of always thinking about it and just not really worrying about the weight so much and becoming more technically sound in the movements and then let the weight come.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's more my goal. I mean, like tonight we were doing sumo deadlifts and I'd never done them before, so the first thing I did was hit myself in the chin with the bar, empty bar. So,
Been there, man. Been there.
but and then like Taylor, after the workout tonight, I stopped her because she was trying to tell me that I was jerking the bar off the ground with my arms versus driving with my legs, popping my hip, and then guiding it with my arms. So just every movement is different, and just trying to piece together each one and just get better at the movements versus worrying about the weight so much.
Okay, so let me see if I'm hearing this correctly, where that you're talking about really still continuing learning the mechanical aptitude of some of these movements, getting very good at them, getting very consistently good at them, and then just letting the intensity part of it all come. You're talking about kind of that whole progression line.
Right, there's the progression, because I mean some of them, like I mean I'd like to sometime by the end of the year here, my one goal is to be able to deadlift, one rep max of 405. But and that's, that, like we talked before, like my upper body, my pulling movements, I'm strong on, but with the squat and the lower body, I just gotta trust and get stronger in my lower body.
Okay. So the nice thing, and I'll just go back here with Lindsay, with you. I mean, and Melissa, of course, this is going to obviously pertain to you and you as well, Justin, where that in working with Lindsay last month, we were able to agree on a very meaningful outcome. And really with that, then that helps us kind of collaborate and put together what is called an outcome goal, meaning that I want to fit into a size 34 pants. So
sure.
I say that because, I want to there's a definite number to that. There's a definite outcome to that. Again, hence the name kind of outcome goal versus
performance.
Versus making it more general, I guess what I'm saying. In other words, some folks may just simply say that, yes, I would like to fit into a different size pants or a smaller size of pants or a bigger size of pants. In your case, Justin, you're probably going to have to fit into a bigger size of pants if you're going to deadlift 405.
Right.
So,
Right.
But either which way, an outcome goal has us then really definitively putting something out there. We have a very abstract either number to work off of, or again, something that has just a definite meaningful outcome to it. Lindsay, I remember going over that with you last month. And again, why don't you just hold tight until we get to really that whole worksheet here. So what I want to do then with Melissa is now really start to turn what you're desiring to do, Melissa, but yet into, again, an outcome-based goal, meaning that is there, like you're talking about, yes, of upper body strength, is there a definite factor of performance that you'd like to have happen?
So I know I struggle with wall handstands. I'd like to get better at those.
Okay. How so?
I guess that's where I struggle because I don't know how to get better at those. I've never done them before. CrossFit. So I guess trying to figure out what are the steps to getting better, other than I know you can do the walk up the wall versus there's no way I could probably kick up and do one. I'm definitely not that coordinated. So I guess I struggle with trying to figure out how to make those steps happen.
Yeah. So really And maybe I can even take a step backwards or two here. You're definitely talking about, yes, some type of outcome goal, something that is upper body strength related. Something that has better training indicators for you, whether it is right movements such as handstand push-ups or a handstand hold or something like that. Um, the outcome basically here, yes, is to get stronger. And let me ask you this: do you feel that your behaviors are there to support that? In other words, do you feel you work out on a regular basis?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel that you eat the right kind of foods in the right amounts?
For the most part, yes. I do have probably more cheat days than I should. But for the most part, I do a pretty good job of trying to make sure that even if I do like a cheat day, I'm trying to eat a salad with protein versus chicken nuggets. So to
Tell you what, let me ask you this: what do you consider a cheat day? Because everybody has a different definition of that.
speak. For me, a cheat day is like I didn't meal prep today. So I ate at Culver's, but I got a salad with grilled chicken on it. And I did a light vinaigrette dressing. So definitely not eating like my coworkers. Them got burgers with cheese on it and onion rings. Totally
Uh-huh.
didn't go.
Here's the thing, though, like, right, if you're looking to get a certain amount of calories, like I've been actually working on this is a new month for me. I am working tooth and nail to make sure I hit around 3,700 calories a day. That actually requires sometimes Corey stopping at Culver's. That actually requires sometimes Corey stopping down I don't know, Subway or stopping at Katie's Bar and Grill and actually ordering 2 mushroom and Swiss burgers with onion,
Okay.
lettuce, and tomato on it. It's a lot of calories to get in per day.
Yeah.
And so I say that like those, right, to me, eating the right kind of foods in the right amounts may actually entertain that idea of stopping at Culver's and things like that.
Okay.
So, and that's why I asked, eating the right kind of foods in the right amount. Do you know exactly what amount food that you're supposed to be working with right now to help, obviously, your goals?
Not 100%. I do track in my Fitness Pal, so I have a kind of a general idea. But I know mine. I do the basic plan, so it's just generalized for my body type and style and that kind of thing.
Okay, so have you got into our Farm Strong Forks program?
I did the webinar with Taylor
You
last
have?
week. Yep, I did the webinar with Taylor last week.
Okay. Trying to think then. Has she's gotten you your calories then?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
That the reason I say that is that like, right, if I draw a big triangle out here, at the bottom of that triangle, to help really towards the top of it all, yes, is like peak strength and things of that nature. Nutrition is really down there at the bottom, meaning that you have a substantial, whatever the right amount of food is for you, you are able to substantiate that on a regular basis, day in, day out, basically. So you can have those growth
Yep.
factors occurring, obviously, to gain strength, and whether it's size or
Okay.
maintain size or whatever that may be. I would think that actually be a really
Yep.
important tool for you to understand. The one feedback I can give you here so far, in terms, again, we're just talking about behaviors here that, right, are going to lead to, right, a positive outcome for you. And again, your outcome is to gain upper body strength. We just haven't figured out exactly what that true meaningful outcome is going to be yet.
Yep.
In other words, what we're going to work on the worksheet on with you. Our last question would be then, do you monitor your training progress?
I do track and train heroic.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I notice if I were to ask you, what is your 1 rep max dumbbell press?
I think I got up to 40.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look, but
And so in asking you those 3 different questions again about, do you train on a regular basis? Do you eat the right kind of foods in the right amounts? That part, that second part, again, is something I think you want a little bit more clarification on. The monitoring your progress, so that would probably be a helpful tool just to get started with today. In other words, you're talking about having good upper body strength. Think of some upper body movements that are primarily strength based movements, meaning like, the press, the push press, jerk, or maybe even 2, right? Bench pressing, because we have so much data on the numbers of those movements that we can tell very much so who's strong in the upper body if they have a body weight bench press or if they have a 3/4 body weight press.
Okay.
or if they have a body weight and a quarter push press number, or if they have a body weight and a half number jerk number. we generally consider, I mean, if you guys can perform those type of movements with that type of weight, you probably got some good things going on in your upper body.
Okay.
So let's just start with that, meaning why don't you just right now for upper body strength, a good training indicator for you, in other words, a good outcome is to be able to put 3/4 of your body weight on a barbell
Mm-hmm.
and be able to press that. Okay. Justin, moving on to you. I got to unmute some people here. All right, Justin, you there?
Yep, there.
So same question to you, right? You were kind of talking of quite a few different things there in terms of mechanics and movements, getting better at that, right? Letting the weight come. Maybe do this, right? Keep it simple here. Pick one movement that you would like to mechanically get better at.
I think it's still probably the squat because it just incorporates into so many different movements that I think if I get mechanically better at the squat still, then that works with clean, it works with, wall balls, everything.
Okay. You had talked to the deadlift though earlier, right? You actually gave me a number. You'd like to what? Do a 405 deadlift?
405, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just say that because right at the end of this cycle here, at the end of December, obviously we'll be doing some test out work in the deadlift.
Right. My 1 rep max before was 365, and then when we did the 4 rep max here just this week, I think it was this week or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we did that. I did my 1 rep max for my 4 rep max.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so you still don't want to base it on your squat.
Say that again.
You still want to base it on your squat.
I think just like technically, like that's still where I'm struggling, and still like trying to perfect like my setup, my mental game, everything with it, with the lift. Like when we were doing wall balls the other day, like I started clicking in my head a little bit, and then my movement, because you've called me on before, sometimes when I start getting tired, I get lazy with my squat depth on the wall ball. So I was thinking about it when we were doing those, and I was trying to, think about the movements of the squat and use it during the wall ball. But yeah, I think technically, to be more technically sound in the squat is still where I would put my goal for this month.
Okay. How do you know if you would be getting better technically in the squat? What outcome do you think you'd have? Would it be a number thing in the back squat? Would it be I'm not as sore in this place of my body after a week of training? Or
I think it would probably be a number. I mean, I hate to put a number on it because I'm talking technically and let the weight come. But, so I don't know if it's necessarily a weight thing or if it's videotaping and then just nitpicking myself every time I do it and just keep doing that. And because right now, like we did the squats last time, and I still kept that 4 rep at 195, which is pretty much that's body weight for me. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if I could put a number on it or what a good number would be, or if it's just more of videotaping and analyzing that.
Well, I got a thought here for you. You're talking a lot about the mechanics, really the skill of the movement. And when you're talking about the skill, there's technicality to that. And right, we don't really prescribe intensity loads and things like that if I'm trying to get technically better at something. Right. So I say that because the outcome, right? And again, what we're all trying to do here is have this kind of outcome at the top of our worksheet that is, again, it's clear, it's pretty simple and straightforward, but it is also very specific. And like just in Melissa's case there, we had talked about, 75% of her body weight, shoulder press. That's going to be an exact number that's going to give her feedback. Okay, if I can do that, I now have upper body strength. That's probably going to have me being upside down for a longer period of time. When it's a handstand hold, I'll probably be able to do more handstand push-ups at a crack.
Sure.
I can probably wrestle more bears, on a daily basis, just right. Because now we got that one simple number that we've now have in right in front of us and we're working towards, that again just will allow other things to really take place. So in your case, though, right, you're talking about a skill, a certain skill. And one thing that I think of that keeps coming back into my mind here is not so much, continually maybe making a weight increase on the back squat, but I'm actually thinking of having you perfect or learn different skills that will aid in a squat pattern. And there are tons of them. There really are. And I say that because there's like one of my online clients, the guy's got super long femurs. He's got super long femurs and actually called tibs. And I just say that because his torso is like not all that long. So when he squats, he really like, it looks different.
Sure.
And he's actually a strong guy. The squat's actually pretty decent. But what I'm having him do is practice different skills before he actually squats so that he can end up repatterning his movement over time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
so there are some things I know that right you could do to probably help mechanically better pattern your squat pattern, so that whether you back squat, overhead squat, or you're on your fourth set of 40 wall balls, you know your pattern of movement is going to be better.
Okay.
I guess is what I'm saying. So think on that a little bit. Think if there's maybe a in other words, to me, like, yeah, it may not take all that long a time, but maybe there's a skill or something that you can work on before back squat days or squat base days, you know, on our, usually, right, I like to have a lot of our primary push movements programmed for CrossFit right away in the week. In other words, the back squat type stuff right away in the week, early in the week, Mondays or Tuesdays usually. But again, you can do these maybe new skills that you're working on before training, you know, before class time is what I'm kind of thinking.
Okay.
Keep thinking. We'll come back to you here. Who else just joined us on the phone?
Derek.
Derek, my man, how you doing?
Doing good. Sorry I was late. I was dropping my boss off in Milwaukee to the airport.
Well, that's a good thing. If you take care of your boss, hopefully the boss takes care of you.
Yeah, that's the hope sometimes.
You don't want to drop him off a few blocks away from the airport. There you go, my man. Have a good walk. Yeah. So you've actually been here a couple times, Derek, before, and I don't have to go through really a lot of the introductory stuff with you, but why don't you just update me as to where you're at with your goal or goals in mind, and yeah, just kind of fill me in here.
So yeah, my goal, like we said in the past, is more just body fat, trying to get down to my goal target range of like 15%. I feel like I've been doing pretty good on our weekly tasks of mobility. Last month we talked about more sleep, and I did pretty good in the beginning, but I'll admit at the end, especially this last 2 weeks, I haven't been the great at it. I've been a little stressed and just kind of all over the place with the sleep, so I haven't been as focused as I should be on my pattern.
Okay. You're saying though in the first couple weeks of the month it was good though?
Yeah, I really focused on it. I was averaging like my 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep a night and getting pretty good. And then just kind of things kind of like chaotic between work and life, and just, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of went a little off path for right now.
Okay, so are you saying then you want to continue, and is your outcome, right? You still want to continue to work on reduction of body fat. 15% is your actual number, your actual goal.
Yeah. So whenever eventually in the future here, when I go to the next body scan, I eventually plan out. Eventually, I'm hoping I'm closer to that goal.
Mm-hmm. Do you have one scheduled?
Not yet. Taylor and I have chatted a little bit about possibly having one here in the next couple of weeks, but we don't have one scheduled yet.
Okay. Were you going to do it in a couple of weeks, or were you going to do it at the end of the training cycle, the end of December?
That's one reason why I wanted to be on tonight. Would it be more sense? Because, so for my eating, she's had me on a cut, and she's been kind of tweaking my diet like every few weeks. So my last one was 8 weeks ago, was when we changed my diet, and we had a scan.
Yeah.
So I had the first initial one when I did the 6 week challenge, had that, and then that was 8 weeks ago.
Okay.
So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah,
so I'm fine with holding out until end of the mesocycle, or would it be, I have no idea.
So usually like, yeah, our training cycles, they're usually around 12, 14 weeks in length. And I can usually get us through, right, just about 4 of those per year. So like myself, right, I have a preseason, an in-season, a postseason or / off-season type training schedule that I do with ball. And I usually get 4 different measurements throughout the year. So I just say that
Okay.
I'm getting at least a minimal, 1 done every 3 months. In other words, where I,
Yep.
like right after my off season is done, that's obviously when I'm getting to preseason. My activity level changes, my type of training changes. And right too, the things that I'm doing, I'm gonna probably have to change my right if especially in the in season, I'm on my feet and playing a lot. My carbohydrate intake has to go up. It does. So I adjust
Yep.
my macros at that time. So again, I know this because then I do my assessment work about once every 3 months. I don't let it get any farther than that. Probably the earliest you'd want to do some of these type of measurements and retooling is going to be at about the 2-month time period. No, that's probably right where we're at now, right on 8 weeks or so. But don't let it go any more than 12 weeks. So
would you say, because she hypothetically said maybe before the holiday, or do you think kind of between the 2 holidays, what would you say would be better? Because again, I really don't know.
we'll end our current training cycle here that second to last week in December. And then we'll have a couple transition weeks to go through before we start our new cycle. I think it's like January 4th or 5th is when the new cycle begins.
So if I maybe kind of take it towards almost where my vacation is, because I'm headed on vacation December 14th. So it would be like be kind of before that, be kind of a more ideal time period.
Then you're somewhere in that 2 to 3 month time period.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Easy solution. Now, here's what we can do. You guys all have an idea what you really have up there at the top. In other words, what I'm going to hold up here, I know you guys on the phone aren't able to see this, but Melissa and Lindsay, you guys can see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Melissa, do you have this worksheet printed off?
Yep.
You do? Okay. I was going to say, for you guys that maybe don't have our worksheet printed off, I know you can simply use a piece of paper as well. This is just something that we had put together where that it's kind of easy to start filling in and writing in. And in like Lindsay's case, and I'm going to share our screen here just momentarily, but in Lindsay's case, right, you're already written out up there, or written out at the top. And then, right, you've already went through now month 1, Lindsay, and she's worked on the first 2-week segment, the second 2-week segment. So really now Lindsay into month 2. Melissa, what we're going to be doing here at the top is obviously writing your big outcome goal, which if you want to for just tonight's rough draft or example, right, you can write down 3/4 body weight shoulder press ability.
Yep.
Okay. Justin, I know you're on the road, right? Derek, you're on the road?
Yep.
Okay. No writing. No texting. You guys can follow along here. So.
Yeah, we're listening.
What was that?
I said we're listening.
Awesome. All right, Lindsay, I'm going to unmute you, or if you could unmute yourself. So at the top, remind me, what do you have written up there at the top?
I have body fat loss.
Body fat loss. Have you also, too, right after now testing out, have you figured out an exact body fat percentage loss you'd like to have happen at the end of this time frame?
She gave me a new InBody scan worksheet, and Taylor said that I should go for about 10 pounds for right now. Should be my small idea.
So that's a body weight number. Any indication then in terms of what you're talking about, body fat percentage? Any indication of body fat percentage number going down, or again, do you want to just focus on the body weight?
Weight.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to use my worksheet here, and I'm just going to start writing that up here atop. 10 pounds. Now, when you say body weight, are you talking actually body fat loss?
Yes, body fat mass loss.
Got it. That makes it simple. All right. And then again, remind me, in month 1, what was the overall skill to develop?
High protein meals.
Okay. So Melissa, this is where, because Derek has heard this, as well as Justin, where that what we're looking to do is yes, in a sense, use approach goals to kind of help us formulate a big first month skill to develop. And the skills that we're trying to develop should be, Melissa, skills that we've really actually never done before. They're new to us, but again, we're using approach goals where that what that does is it pulls us to something more desirable. Because right, it is a new skill. It's something that we've not done before. It feels like, hey, yeah, I want to try this. I want to do this. It also pulls us away from something that we're trying to avoid.
Okay.
And a simple example would be somebody that, because I see this, for example, on Facebook all the time. People are, yes, they're in a sense talking about their mindset, their goals, but they're talking about, I have to stop drinking soda. I have to lose weight. I desperately have to lose weight. Whereas, like, for example, if you say that I have to stop drinking soda, that basically is what is coined an avoid goal. And in saying that and planting that in the brain, there's a lot of mental and actually emotional energy.
Okay.
And better things to say are things meaning that I want to eat more colorful fruits and vegetables to lose body weight. Or I'm going to prepare healthy foods in advance so I have them on hand.
Yep.
Versus saying I have to stop eating junk food. So terminology obviously is very different in those two examples, but also the mental makeup that happens and what it does to your brain is very different. So a big part about doing this is, again, formulating this plan where that, yes, you're going to be developing a new skill, and then we're going to be talking down here about some of the behaviors that help with that. So under then, Lindsay, that first month, high protein meals. Remind me again, the first practice in the first 2 weeks of that first month were?
Prepping proteins.
So I'm just going to write down the prep of food. Yep.
And then the second practice was water intake.
H2O. H2O intake, super valuable, often not done enough. Gotta drink the water. Okay, so let me ask you, Lindsay, in now this month too, any thoughts, any new skills that you're thinking of entertaining here, working with?
I need to work on hitting my calorie intake because I'm not hitting it.
How short or how far away are you on average?
400.
400 calories? Oh, you got this. You got that. Okay, so I'm just going to write down here, calorie intake daily. Let me ask you, how many calories are you looking to have happen each day?
Taylor has me at 1840.
1840.
Yes.
Got it. You say you're about 400 away?
Yes.
Okay. So Melissa, is this helping then you can maybe formulate a thought process here? Is maybe that first month something that you can work on skill-wise to develop upper body strength that would overall support that 3/4 body weight shoulder press ability? I know
yeah.
that this is also right. The hard part, you're like, okay, I have to think of something I've never done before.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, it is. But this is also the fun of it. It is the fun of it. I love doing this stuff. It's fun to try to think of and, yes, start to work on new skills, new things.
Yeah. You got me there with trying to find something new that I haven't done before. I know I don't do a whole lot of the barbell work, and I know that's what you kind of recommended was getting the barbell. So that might be something it's not something I haven't done before, but I haven't done a whole lot.
Let me ask you this. You primarily, right, go to the MAP program. I see you there training the MAP program more often, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever done a CrossFit class before?
I have not.
Okay. Is it just the time frame that works best for you? And that's why you come to the MAP program? Or is it that you're just enjoying the MAP program or something else?
Usually the time frame works a little bit better for me.
Okay.
Depending on if I come in the morning, that definitely works. And then it kind of depends on when I get out of work as to what I can usually make it to. It usually ends up being the 6 o'clock MAP class. So.
Yeah. Yep. I usually see it at 6 p.m. And I asked that question because, right, you would obviously start getting more of the barbell in your hands, obviously coming to the CrossFit program.
CrossFit. Yeah.
Is there any possibility of you doing the CrossFit program for a month?
I'll do it for the whole month, but I could definitely try and make it work more. Like Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're usually done at 6, so I could try and make 7 o'clock classes instead.
Okay.
Or if I can get out of work right on time, I can try and do those guys instead. Or I know if I come in on my days off, when I have those, yay,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I could definitely do a CrossFit class instead of a map.
Okay, because the reason I asked that is that we do, yes, different variants of pressing more often probably in the CrossFit program
Okay.
than we do the MAP. Usually the MAP program, things that I try to take in consideration are gait, the usage of legs, and then I do try to make sure we're cycling through right HIIT training or high intensity based training more often within the MAP program. And those are the goals. And like I only have so many days to get that all in when I program that.
Yeah.
So I'm usually not too concerned again in the MAP program about people doing 21 unbroken handstand push-ups or again being able to split jerk a lot of different days of the week and split jerk a lot of weight, those type of things.
Yeah.
So I kind of again just point to this where that we have the program in place where that, right, if your overall goal is to increase upper body strength, we actually got a program for that that'll certainly do that for you. And that is right maybe month one skill to develop for you is to adhere to the CrossFit program.
Okay.
How many days on average do you make it in per week?
I do 3.
3? Okay, so if you're talking Tuesday and Thursday, now you're actually getting 2 of those 3 in, right, per week in the CrossFit program? Okay.
Yep.
Write that in. Write that in month one skill to develop.
Okay.
Now, the first practice, and again, this is where you start to get into kind of mastering the process here. And again, you want to keep these simple, super straightforward, super concrete, nothing crazy. In other words, what do you think in the first 2 weeks of this month? And again, the month can start whenever you want it to. It can start next week, or Corey, I'm going to start at December. Like again, you can start that whenever. What do you think in the first 2 weeks of that month would help you develop that ability to adhere to the CrossFit program?
Can you call work and tell them that I got to get out on time?
I can write fake doctor notes. I've tried that before.
Dang. Okay.
Sometimes they've worked, and sometimes I've actually got a phone call back. Dr. Ryan? Who's Dr. Ryan?
Yeah. I think I could do that. I think I could definitely for sure. Like my days off, if I'm coming in on those guys, like this Friday, I'm planning to come into class and it's my day off, I can hit a CrossFit for sure.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, and you had almost said this before, is I'm going to plan 2 days a week to do the CrossFit program. Like you actually just had kind of said this before. Your first practice that you should do in those first 2 weeks of the month is plan 2 days per week to attend the CrossFit class, right? Put it right on your calendar. Put it whether you, I know sometimes people work with it on the phone. I know like us, we have about 3 different calendars right here in our kitchen. 2 girls and us, put it on your calendar, I guess is what I'm saying. That would be really, to me, a very simple strategy in the first 2 weeks to help you adhere to the CrossFit program. Okay. My guess is right. You've never done that before. You never planned to attend CrossFit classes before.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So far, so good. What about then the second practice of that first month?
I know you talked about eating. I know that kind of fits in with that. I definitely would have to figure out what I need to hit food goal wise, because I'm betting I'm probably not hitting what I'm supposed to.
Okay. I'm going to even break it down. I had a thought here too, even some more about, right, the overall goal is it's an upper body based goal.
Yep.
And again, you're looking to plan 2 CrossFit classes per week. I bet you this is going to be a new skill for you. In other words, in that second practice, those second 2 weeks of the month, right? I publish now the programming, usually Sunday afternoon, Sunday night for both programs. The whole week is published for you guys. Yep. What about taking a look at the week's programming and taking into consideration the upper body days?
I could do that.
Because, right, what is that doing? If you're taking in consideration the upper body days and you're attending those twice per week, what is that overall helping? The actual overall outcome goal.
Yep. I could definitely do that.
I think that's like, yeah, super, super simple, straightforward, month one skill to develop, and you got 2 practices to do.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. It's always fun doing this. Boys, hold on. Continually be patient. Lindsay, back to you. Within that month 2 skill to develop, you talk about hitting your calories, right, per day. Sounds like
Yes.
you need about 400 more.
Right.
Kind of same questions for you. So when the third practice here, in other words, the first 2 weeks of the second month, any strategies or any thoughts on a new skill to develop you to, again, hitting those 1840 calories per day?
I have to manage how much calories I'm eating at every meal I'm eating. Because I think I get to the end of the day and then I start to just like eat a whole bunch. Just because I want to hit that goal, or I try to, and then I can't.
So I remember actually doing this with a couple online clients not too long ago, where yes, it was a similar situation. One guy had to up his calories. He's like, holy cow. So what we did, well, Corey, I normally eat this time of the day, this time of the day, this time of the day, and this time of the day. He was a 4-time eater a day. And right, if we have to divide up, then his calories are something around 34, whatever, 100. He knew that he would eat more later in the day. So all we did is we kind of, okay, an example meal for this person in the morning or for breakfast, usually is about this many calories. An example meal for this person, usually around lunch, is about this many calories. Now, because he didn't, at night, sometimes it was, dinner with the family, or they went out to eat and things like that. So what we did is that in 2 weeks practice, he knew what he was, again, going to eat calorie-wise in the morning, in the middle part of the day, in the latter part of the day. This is how much he had to get in over 2 meals. And really, it was just dividing those 2 meals in half. And again, he usually had to get around, something here and something here. And that was a strategy that worked really well for him, because again, he just knew on average how many calories he was getting in. And what I'm saying is that, right, you have a macro plan. You know how many calories you got to get in per day. Why not break it down even a bit farther? How many calories do you need to get in at breakfast, lunch, and dinner to hit those calories?
Yeah.
So I would just make yourself again, you got the macro plan, right? You know how many calories you need to have per day. But what you should do is probably strategize and plan in 2 weeks here how many calories you need to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or however many meals you eat in a day, and whichever meals you eat more of.
Okay.
So I'm just going to write that in is strategize calories per meal. Because I would think that would be one cool skill to have right there in your back pocket. Now, if you're hitting the calories that you need to each meal, your day is done.
Yeah.
Okay. What about then that fourth practice for you? The second 2 weeks of this second month to, again, help you overall hit your calorie intake per day. Because you're right, there may be some days that you have that strategy in place, but you're still not hitting it.
Right.
It's going to happen. You got kids.
Oh, yeah. Maybe doing like a protein shake or something on that day.
Is that your hardest macro to hit?
Yes.
It is?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Protein and fat is.
Yeah.
Well, I like to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, so I have a hard time with the proteins.
Okay. Have you done that before? Have you had, I know that, right, you did that in the first month, that you would prepare protein-based food.
Yep.
But
Yes.
But did that include then, shakes? Like ramen?
No, I did not have any shakes.
No?
I haven't had any shakes. I used to do shakes about a year ago. I was doing every morning a protein shake. and then I would eat meals otherwise, because it seemed like mornings was my hardest. But now I've been making sure I have eggs or bacon or making a Sam morning. So I haven't done a protein shake since I've been at farmland.
Well, here's a thought. If that's something you're thinking of working with, and that is making your own, smoothie or shake, are you able to make, because right, you were talking about before, hey, I'm usually sometimes short about 400 calories. Are you able to make a shake of some sort that will help you hit your calories? That is going to be about 400 calories.
I don't know.
To me, that sounds like, right, okay, I got a backup option that I just got done with the day. Hey, I'm 400 calories short. Whoop. Here's the shake that I have in the refrigerator. It's already cooled down. I just got to shake it up. I'm ready to go.
Right. I'm sure that if I work at it, I could probably find some type of mixture to do that.
Mm-hmm. We use either Driven Whey. Like at home here, I got Driven Whey products, both in the whey format and the post-WOD format, and a couple different BCA formats. I usually use when I need calories, right? I'm going to probably use the Driven Whey, mix it up with some maybe type of butter, such as a natural peanut butter or an almond butter. Or right, you can also too just put a serving of whatever oil you want in there as well, with 8 ounces of water. Or if you really want to start making it dense, heck, you can start putting 4% milk in there. Scoop of protein powder. Yeah, you can put a thing of butter in there and shake it up. You can get a lot of calories in 8 ounces of water pretty darn quick.
Okay.
So just one thought here then again, if you're talking about a shake, practicing that in that, last two weeks of that second month, I think it's time for you to develop a 400 calorie shake recipe.
Okay. Yeah.
So then you have a strategy. If that strategy doesn't work, you have something, again, in the refrigerator you can take with to make up that 400 calorie miss on those days.
Okay.
Okay, Justin, you still there? Derek, you there?
I am here.
Cool. Justin just passed out. Okay, my man. Maybe he'll join us here if he's not.
Hopefully he didn't just pass out.
No. Well, I wonder if he got home here. I know he said, he was going to be on the phone as well tonight. Maybe he got home and he can patch in via computer. Okay. So let's go back then to you, my man. And I did actually remember making a chart with you then here, but let me just go back to you here, Derek, where that, right? Do you think it'd be wise to go back to the sleep part, or are you looking?
I think so, because I feel like the last few weeks of training has been a little bit of a struggle with me too, just because I've been so tired. Because right now, with being on the cut for food plus the no sleep or not focusing on it, I feel like that could be contributing to why I haven't felt optimal, especially at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel obviously if I could try to focus more on getting the sleep, I feel like I'd be more ready, prepared for that.
Do you want to just simply put into play the practices you had before, or are you looking, or maybe you thinking of different skills to develop here?
Well, the two main ones we chatted about are the mobility and the sleep. Is there another one that? So I'm just trying to think of what else. Because I do the eating pretty well. I'm still on Taylor's diet and I follow that, and I hit my macros and calorie intake pretty much spot on. I get good water intake, if not a little extra. So I don't feel like those are tasks. So really at that point, that's why we focused on mobility as kind of a recovery tool along with sleep.
So within your sleep, let me ask you this, how many calories are you at now per day?
She has me at 21/2200, right around that range.
And what were you at before?
What was I at originally? It was 23 to 24. So she didn't cut much, 200 calories or so.
Yeah, it's about half a meal to me.
Yeah.
just like a general meal, general breakfast or something like that, it's about half then. Like you're essentially taking about a half a meal away at one meal a day.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, man, I don't want a half a meal taken away right now. And yeah, I can understand that, right? There's granted it's not a whole lot, but there's sometimes not as much energy in there. And so yeah, sleep recovery is going to be pretty dark. Notice if you're doing the same thing that you have been doing before, especially the type of training, especially this week, we're kind of at this week is tough with the CrossFit program. Volume's up a little bit this week.
Yeah.
So if you're doing those things again on less total calories, yeah, I mean, sleep's going to be pretty important. Notice that main recovery mean, which is sleep, is going to be pretty important. If I remember right, some of the skills that you were working on, what wasn't one of them spending, or it was a certain time that you had to get your dinner in to make sure then, okay, I can turn the lights off now.
Yeah, we were focused on getting dinner in around like more of the 6 o'clock range so that way I can have lights out by 8 o'clock to truly get, because if I get lights out before 8, I can actually get towards more of my true 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Okay.
So that's what we really wrote down was lights out kind of time was before 8.
And you're still doing that, or do you need to?
No, that's what I said. I was doing good in the beginning, but I got away from that.
Okay.
Because yeah, my wake up time is my wake up time to make sure I get there to the gym in time. So really, it's all about my sleeping. When I do lights out is the kicker. That's where I miss it.
Okay. How late sometimes are you? Well, what time is it on some of those days it's not going well? What time you lights out with it? Is it 9 o'clock? Is it 10 o'clock?
10:30.
Is when lights are going out?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking a 2-hour difference.
Yeah, at least.
Dude. Okay. Yeah, that's big considering you and I always get up early. A 2-hour change in our sleeping pattern is big.
Yep. No, that's what I was saying. That's why I contributed the last couple of weeks to that of feeling tired.
Mm-hmm. How many days a week do you train?
6.
It is the 6?
Yep.
Any forecast or any knowledge as to how long you're going to be at this 2,200 calories per day?
That's why Taylor and I started discussing again to where when we want to do the scan, she kind of wants to know where I got kind of to my goal before we kind of change it up and do more of a maintain / more.
Mm-hmm.
So we're waiting kind of on that. So I'd say possibly a couple more weeks.
Yeah, 2 thoughts of this. Like on a little bit less calories, it might even be wise. Like for example, when I'm playing ball or in my preseason time period, I really I'm trying to encompass quite a bit on about the same calories I had before. Where that what I usually do is I usually cut down a day out of my training, and the reason being I do just need more rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that where that if you have been training 6 days a week, I mean, have you ever given any thought to maybe just knocking it down to 5, which is still quite a bit, 5 training days within the week where that now you have a day, whether you want to split it up in the middle part of the day, or the middle part of the week, or maybe it's a Friday, the latter part of the week, where that you have some time off. You got some more time to sleep.
Yeah. Not say I couldn't, but nowadays I don't know if I would get that much more sleep because if I don't go to bed early, my body nowadays just wakes me up that early. I literally don't wake up with an alarm. My body's just accustomed to waking up for class, and also I feel better throughout the day, the days I do make it to class, because like there's days like obviously, what was it, 2 weeks ago I was out of town for 2 of the days, and so I didn't make it, and my days just kind of drug on a little differently. So I really enjoy just making it to class. Like, yes, I may be a little bit more tired, but me personally, mentally, I feel better throughout the day.
So then if that be the case, then really going back then to the night before, that's really where it's at.
Yep.
Okay. So what has changed then? In other words, you were doing what really well before to help you have kind of the lights out situation occur at 8 p.m. and what's been occurring here when the situation is 10:30 p.m.?
The wife and I just took on a couple extra projects at the house, and we were just trying to get them done and stuff like that. So
it's always the wife's fault, isn't it?
No, it's not her fault because I said we.
Melissa's like got her hands in her air right now. She's like, "What?"
No, we took on some extra projects, and obviously I like to get them done as fast as possible, so I always kind of just bunker down and do stuff.
Okay. But man, you need to have lights out at 8 o'clock.
Yep. And that's the thing is I need to take a priority on that rather than priority on something else.
Yeah. And the reason I say that right, if you're doing projects at night, you're doing more activity at night, and again on less calories here, and then you come in the morning and you're tired, and some of the things that we do, I mean, yeah, you could very easily all of a sudden, if you're that tired, tweak something, now you're really behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
I just say that kind of doing that extra physicalness at night, another 2 hours, which again, for us, the guys that get up early like that, yeah, when you're missing out on 2 hours, that is pretty big. Yeah, man, I'd hate to see you have some type of injury.
Well, then I need a doctor's note for the wife.
Yeah, then okay. Is there any way that that project time can be divvied up differently?
Oh yeah, no, and I think literally we got done with one of them already, so I think it can change here shortly. I don't think that was going to be a long-term thing of that would be in my schedule. I was just saying that the last 2 weeks have been hard because I haven't been following it. Is all I was saying.
So it sounds like really you are able to probably go back and redo this skill, redo this 2-week practice, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you one that takes R&R?
I do not. And I heard Taylor mention for the first time the other day. I didn't really get a chance to ask her too much about her look into it though yet. But I did hear her mention it.
I just say that we're that right for some of us again to get up really early that do have to go to bed early in the night. It is one of those sleeping aids that when you sleep hard.
Gotcha.
It's been very noticeable since I got back on that. So I just say that if you're one that and we have a bottle in the office there that if you want to just take 7 of those capsules to try for a week, you can. We have an extra bottle in the office. I think Taylor actually just got some to Janet here just recently because she wanted to try a 7-day, just a 1 week trial on it. Yeah.
No, and that might be something that I should probably look into because I'd say the sleep sometimes could always improve of the quality, not always just the quantity too.
Well, I say that for again, if you're physical at night, sometimes I'll have to train at night or stay physical at night as well. It takes sometimes a while for your body to kind of chill out.
Mellow down and actually get ready.
Yeah. And having that product such an R&R, which helps you stay in that deep sleep longer, is kind of a benefit for some of us that I know, Melissa, you're probably pretty dang active throughout the whole day. Something that helps you stay in a longer deep sleep, pretty darn beneficial for that next morning. So yeah, Taylor will be in there tomorrow morning. Just ask her about it if she's got under 7 capsules, if you'd like to try that.
All right. I'm actually not going to make it tomorrow morning. I got to be in Eau Claire. I'm actually going to make it in the evening class.
Okay. Well, we'll see you then. Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like Lindsay, thumbs up. You got your next month to go. You're good with that? Melissa? Yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good.
You're good? Derek, and you're good?
Yep.
Okay. I'll have to send a message to Justin to hopefully see if he made it home okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for participating and being a part of it. We will not have a goal-setting webinar in December, obviously because of the holiday time period.
Yep.
Unless you guys come with me and help me with my holiday shopping. That's probably the only time I'm going to be able to do that. But otherwise, guys, right, if you do have any questions on this or any feedback, feel free just to message me. I'd be happy to help you guys along your process here. Or otherwise, hopefully, you guys can patch on in then in January, where that we can pick right back up where we left off, of course.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool, guys. Have a great night, and thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to Corey.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.